It all begins today. Arsenal's charged for the Premier League title. Hopefully by match week 38, we are lifting that trophy. But it's match week 1. It's Wolves. It's the Emirates Stadium. And it's a 3 p.m. kickoff UK time to begin proceedings, to begin what is hopefully going to be a successful campaign for Arsenal. The big debate at the moment is around Kai Havertz and Gabi Jesus, who should be Arsenal's starting 9. Both look good in pre-season. Both got a couple goals. And both have shown really promising things over a spell and a period, across their Arsenal careers, short Arsenal careers, but neither have actually shown that full campaign's worth of quality in front of goal, which means there's a real battle there unless Arsenal add something in the transfer window. And of course, you all know I'm hoping we do add something in the forward line. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about this game, everything you need to know for Arsenal versus Wolves, and have that big debate around the starting 11, because the matchday squad is interesting as well. But let's take you all the way back to pre-season, because of course, being match week 1, we don't have a load of Premier League results to analyse, so we can only see what teams have done in the off-season, in the build-up to this campaign. Now, Arsenal in the United States picked up a win, a draw and a defeat. I was there for all three of them. Arsenal looked sharp, Arsenal looked fit, but they didn't look like they sort of found the levels of last season. Against Leverkusen and Lyon, 6 goals at the Emirates. They certainly did, beating Leverkusen 4-1 and Lyon 2-0. Good to see those results at the Emirates in the last week. Now, when it comes to Wolves, they've had a really mixed set of results. I wish I could give you more analysis and insight on these games. I wasn't able to watch them, but from a pure results perspective, they put 3 past West Ham, but Palace did them 3-1. They put 3 past Leipzig, which in any context is a good result, but they lost 1-0 to Rayo Vallecano. I think I did see some match stats around that, and Wolves were a bit unlucky. I might be wrong on that. So there's not really too much we can take from that. I think the big news around Wolves and the kind of state of play for them coming into this game is that they've lost Max Kilman for around 40 million and Pedro Neto for around 55 million has gone to Chelsea, Max Kilman to West Ham. Those are 2 key players and have been for a long time. I know Pedro Neto has had injury problems, but he's been such an outball for them. He's been such a unpredictable kind of force of nature against teams like Man City. Look what he did against them last season. And whenever I've watched him, he's just looked like a problem. And I think losing him is a big issue. I wonder how they're going to address that long term. But yeah, it's a sign that's only happened recently, so they're still almost adapting to the losing of Pedro Neto. And Max Kilman, a left-footed centre-back who can play anywhere across the back 3, back 4. Is left-footed, but has played right centre-back for them. That's going to be a miss because of his experience and actually the fact that he's a very good defender is a reason why West Ham spent the money to get him. So those are the big things around Wolves. Their predicted 11 is likely to be a 3-4-3 with Sarr in goal, Lima, Mosquera and Totti Gomez. Of course, I'm familiar with Lima and Mosquera. I think in the last year we might have seen a little bit more of them. Maybe they're summer signings, I'm not 100% sure. Semedo, Lamina, Gomez, Ainori is a forward definitely very accustomed to. Lamina, Gomez, very good central midfield pair. Semedo, Ainori, very good wing backs. And then there's a new Gomez in with Larson and then Hwang leading the line, and we know that he can hit some really good goal scoring form in the Premier League as well. That's the 3-4-3 we're expecting Wolves to go with. Now, in terms of Arsenal, what they should do with their 11, well, I want to explore the 9 thing, like I mentioned, who should be up front, because when you look at the last 2 11s that went out against Wolves, but may I say played really well in both games, a 2-0 win at Molineux and a 2-1 win at the Emirates. I was actually at the Emirates for that game. It was a 2-1. It should have been a 6-0. Honestly, it should have been. Let me show you the 11 for that game, because Trossard actually started in the midfield 3 and Gabi Jesus led the line that day. He played well. He played a really good 1-2 with Zinchenko that led to Ødegaard's goal. That was the opener for Arsenal that game. And generally, Arsenal played some really good, fluid, brilliant football with Gabi Jesus leading the line. You then go to the game in Molineux in the middle of a title race, I think around 20th of April. And again, Jesus led the line with Kai Havertz in midfield. So while I'm saying there's a battle for the 9, it doesn't necessarily mean that Kai Havertz loses his position, because it's actually worked well with that typical 3 of Trossard, Jesus and Havertz alternating positions. And Jesus, again, played a big part in the opener, and yeah, it was the opener because Trossard scored. So I wonder whether he might go for a similar thing, Arteta, for this game in particular. But it would mean playing Rice in the 6, where he hasn't played once in pre-season. He's actually been playing in the 8 with Jorginho and Partey getting the minutes as the 6. Now, a more direct battle between Jesus and Havertz from a stats perspective is really interesting, because if you look at the 2 of them here, we've got their goals in pre-season, 2 each, some good goals from Jesus against Man United. I really like the one against Leverkusen. Havertz, doing what he does best, sort of being in the right area and just putting it in the back of the net. I wouldn't call them tap-ins, they kind of were, but you get what I mean. His positioning is very good. He knows how to sniff out where the ball's going to land in the penalty area. Total Arsenal appearances, now we're looking beyond pre-season. 69 for Jesus, 51 for Havertz. You wouldn't think Jesus had been at the club a whole season longer. You'd think he'd been there maybe 6 months longer, maybe a January signing. But the reality is that knee injury has played a part, and unfortunately he's just missed a lot of football. They've had 19 goals for Jesus in those 69 appearances. Havertz with 14 goals and 51 appearances, which actually leaves Jesus' 0.28 goals per game at Arsenal at a slightly better rate than Havertz's 0.27, but worth remembering that Havertz has obviously played a lot of that football in midfield. In terms of goals per 90 in the 23-24 season, Jesus was 0.24, Havertz significantly better at 0.44, and then XG per 90, so measuring the quality of chances they're both getting per 90 minutes played, Jesus at 0.38 and Havertz at 0.42. So Havertz in the last campaign just looking a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more of a threat in front of goal, let's say. When you look at their FB ref numbers in more detail and you put them side by side, there are certain things that Jesus really excels on, like successful take-ons, touches in the attacking penalty area, which we know that, right? We know he can get the ball in the attacking penalty area, look after it, get lots of touches, wriggle, around some players, get shots off maybe. His progressive pass is great, tackles, interceptions, all that very, very good as well. Shots not too bad. Actually, it's better than Havertz's. Havertz excels for things like interceptions as well, aerials won, passes attempted, all that kind of stuff. Both numbers are good, so there's a good battle there. Successful take-ons is a dip for Havertz. Jesus much more of a dribbler, carrier in that way, so it'll be interesting to see again which one Arteta goes for in this game. More context around this game is that Arsenal have added Ricardo Calafiori, of course, so it'll be interesting to see if he starts, but my prediction is he doesn't. Here is my 11 and squad for the game. I think Raya will start in goal with White, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko keeping his place in the back four. I think what Zinchenko's done at left back has been really interesting, not just inverting but really dropping between the centre backs and combining really well with that left hand side, which is starting to tick. I think he will keep his place. A midfield of Ødegaard, Partey and Rice I think will be the starting three. There's a reason why Arteta went for that against Lyon last week. I think it was to trial it out and I think he'll be happy with what he saw. But I do think Trossard is going to come into the front line out on the left. Martinelli struggled a little bit. He looked dangerous in terms of his pacing behind, getting a lot of the ball, but he didn't have the game I think he'd have wanted against Lyon. Trossard, brilliant in pre-season, scoring some goals, but his general composure has been really, really good, at whether it be out on the touchline, his combination play, his move and understanding with Kai Havertz as well. I just have a feeling he's going to opt for Trossard out on the left and Havertz will get the nod up front simply because of the form last season. I think Arteta will want to get back to that so quickly, which is why I think Rice, Partey, Ødegaard, which ended last season, will be the midfield starting in this game. I just think he'll want to get back to last season's levels quite quickly, and of course Bukayo Saka keeps his place. Interestingly enough though, when you look at the bench, I've gone for Ramsdale, Timber, Calafiori being two centre-backs who can play right and left-back very, very comfortably, so I don't see the need for a Kivior. Jorginho, Nwaneri, Vieira. I do think the youngster Nwaneri will make the squad. Vieira, of course, touch and go. He did have an injury which kept him out of the Lyon game. Hopefully he should be fine. Martinelli, Nelson and Jesus are the three forwards. Of course, Nwaneri and Vieira can play in the forward line, but I think they're really there as midfielders along with Jorginho. So the players missing out are Nketiah, Kivior, Tomiyasu with the injury, and Setford, who is just really the third choice goalkeeper at this point, isn't expected to make the squad unless there's anything with Ramsdale moving on, which suggests that maybe Setford might get a place in the squad. Everyone, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hate doing this bit, it's the score prediction, but I want to go for a 2-0 Arsenal win. I don't think it will be comprehensive and I don't think it will be some destruction of Wolves. Wolves will be difficult to break down with a 3-4-3 that becomes a 5-4-1 out of possession. And they've got lots of quality like Lamina, Gomez. But I do think Arsenal should have that enough. And hopefully they get a win and a clean sheet on the opening weekend. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this preview, they'll be coming out every match day. So look forward to them. And yeah, Arsenal kick off the Premier League campaign. I can't wait. See you very soon.